Are you sick and tired of gambling your hard-earned money on Madden packs? Look no further than my sponsor, MMOEXP, for the cheapest and most reliable Mauk coins on the market. And don't forget to use code Ferdy at checkout for 5% off. What's going on, guys? Today we are grading every single AKA crew card that came out today. It probably will be our only AKA crew or AKA, grading video, because they usually don't make the drops this big. Only the first drops are normally, multiple players, like more than 3. So I still want to talk about some of these cards though, so we're still gonna make this video. Before we get started though, if you are in the 50% of people who watch the videos and are not subscribed, let's change that right now. Head down there, hit the subscribe button, turn on those notifications. The shout out for today's video goes to my man, where's his name? My man Hunter. Shout out to my man Hunter for commenting his favorite player in the game right now down below. And if you want a chance to be shouted out in the next one, comment which of the non-LTDs are you most excited for? Because obviously everyone's just gonna say Calvin Johnson. So which of the non-LTD cards are you most excited for from today's AKA crew drop? And of course, let's just get started. Okay, so let's get started in order of cards that I'm most excited for. We're gonna get started here with Nitki. Nitki does get the Wild Man reinforcement, which is actually really good still. My bad. I shouldn't have disrespected the card like that. Let's just get started with the amazing Nitki. This card's actually going to be really good because of this ability right here. This is an ability that Troy Polamalu is able to get for 3 AP, but it's always on. I don't believe that these X Factors are going to stay on the whole game, obviously. So it's going to be an on, cooldown, comeback situation. Like you don't have to actually earn them back. How AKA works is actually downs played, which is actually pretty nice because there's no like. I'm pretty sure if you get a pick though on defense, no matter what, the X Factor comes back. I'm pretty sure. I could be wrong on that. But it is just downs played, which is pretty nice. It's a cool down, cool off, cool down, cool off, cool down. You know what I'm saying. So reinforcement, really, really good. What it basically is it turns you into inside stuff, no outsiders, run stopper, but also having mid zone KO, deep zone KO, KOs in man, KOs short, deep, doesn't matter where it is. It basically turns you to an absolute juggernaut out there. So Nitki at 6'3", with 94 speed, he has a chance to be the best user in the game, in my opinion. I really do feel that way. I know to me right now it's Gronk. There's of course, there's of course Julius Peppers. There's of course Harold Carmichael, who people like. But Nitki also 235 is not like it's not the heaviest, but he should be okay as long as you don't really interact with the offensive line that crazy, like as far as baiting guards and things like that. But a good zone coverage, good tackling, good block check, good hit power. This card is going to be really, really good. And not to mention, we don't even know what their discounted abilities are going to be yet. I would assume it's not going to change much on these cards. Obviously, the big thing is the 0 AP X Factor. So it shouldn't change much, but Nitki is going to be a very, very good card. And one I would definitely look at depending on what the prices are of these cards, kind of what it settles at, as the promo goes on a little bit. My guess is that they're probably going to be 600K, 6 to 5, 550 to 6, somewhere in that range for these AKA 94s. Next up, we got Justin Matabuke, or Mata Beast, I guess is what they call him. But this card is kind of slow, right? That's the scary thing about this card. But if we know about the new weight update, he's actually pretty good because he's 293. So he's a very good weight. He shouldn't get fatigued fast. And he does get Unstoppable Force. So if you don't know what Unstoppable Force is, it basically is an instant shed. It's basically like what JJ Watt had last year, the Milkman card, or even what Darius Leonard, the Maniac card, had last year, where you're shedding that first blocker every single time with Unstoppable Force. It is it's a very good ability. I'll just show you kind of what it can do if we go right here. Abilities, Unstoppable Force. I'll read the exact description. Elite pass rushers with a mix of strength, speed, and tenacity when they enter the zone. This ability increases their win rate and block shed speed against one-on-one pass block. So yeah, it's a really good ability. And the fact that this card gets it on, starts on, and can come back without really even having to earn it is actually pretty good. I don't know what his traits are going to be, but either way, 94, 93 on actually, I can just pull up his traits right now. We look up Matabuke real quick, but the fact he's over 90 in both traits is actually a huge deal. And he has perfect traits. This card's going to be really, really good. I know people are going to be afraid of the speed, but I would trade that little bit of speed for, being able to get Unstoppable Force. So I didn't grade the first card. I'm going to grade this card like an A. He'll be really, really good. I'm gonna give Nitki honestly an A+. I think with good size and all this stuff, he'll be really, really good. So I'll give Nitki the A+. Next up, we got Josh Dobbs. This is probably the worst of the cards in my opinion. Yes, he does get Fearless. If we take a look at his release, I'll just pull up the old Dobbs card. They usually, I mean, they haven't really been changing releases this year unless your name is Johnny Manziel and you turn to a free card. But he does get Gen 2. Gen 2 is the same release as Jalen Hurts, the same release as Tua Tagovailoa. It's a pretty popular release, and it's definitely usable. I will say it's kind of like a tier 2 release in my opinion. I think if I were to, you know, I might do a video on this card. I'm not really too sure, but if I were to, I would put in at 4-star for animations opposed to it being 5 stars. So even with the 0 AP Fearless, I'm sure he's gonna be fine with you know, I'm sure he'll get set feet. Probably won't be a set feet and hot route master guy. Probably won't be. And this is kind of where we don't know about these cards yet while I'm recording this video, because they might. I mean, they probably are gonna have discounted slots. They probably are. So if they do give Dobbs discounted hot route master, or give him discounted set feet, then he will be a discounted set feet hot route guy. You know, the way we have Jordan Love and Tua Tagovailoa. So if they do give him set feet hot route master, this card I'll give him an A. If they don't, I'm gonna give him an A-. I think this card could still be good. I know Fearless will probably be really good on this card. Just kind of nice to have. But unless he get, like, we don't know about the ability discounts yet. But if they do give him both those, yeah, I'll give him an A. I'll give him an A if he gets set feet hot route, if he's able to get it. If not, then yeah, A-. There we go. That's my final thoughts on the Josh Dobbs card. Next up, we got Ken Riley, the Rattler. This card looks really good. Yeah, and what this guy said is true. His all Madden card was actually very slept on. What did this guy say? They refuse to give the Bengals actual good cards that aren't upgrades. Okay, that's fair. I see what he's saying. But yeah, 95 speed, 91 acceleration, 95 zone, 95 man, 94 jumping, 94 press, my bad, 93 agility, and he does get inside shade for 0 AP. Will I try to fit this man on my team? I think I will. Inside shade sounds disgusting. If you play man-to-man coverage, inside shade for 0 AP is going to be really nice. Ken Riley's previous card did play very well. He's got good stats. The one problem is the fact that he is 5'11", but hoping that they give him at least a man KO. They should give him some kind of discounted man KO. I would prefer if that was short route KO or maybe deep route KO. I do like short route KO right now. If we got like a 2 AP short route KO would be a big W on this card. Obviously, we don't know everything, but based off the stats of this card, the build, and how his previous cards played, I would give Ken. I'll give him an A. I'll give him an A. If he was like a 6'3+ guy, it would be an A+. But 5'11", 181, kind of gonna get bullied on the outside in the run game. I'll give him an A. Next up, we got LaDainian Tomlinson. LaDainian Tomlinson doesn't really get a good, like, his ability's weird because he gets Energizer for 0 AP, which isn't that good. Like, if you compare it to the other abilities, like Unstoppable Force is glitchy, you know. I already clicked on him. Reinforcement, glitchy. Ken Riley gets Inside Shade, which is a very good ability, so it makes sense for it to be an X Factor. Fearless, you don't have a cheap Fearless in the game right now, so it makes sense that he gets it. But LaDainian Tomlinson getting a pretty low tier ability, in my opinion, for 0 AP, only a 1 AP discount from it being on the whole game, to me is interesting. I don't know how I feel about Energizer being it. I think it could have been like first one free, or it could have been, you know, yeah, like you know what I'm trying to say. It could have been something much better, in my opinion. But where will he stack up amongst the other running backs in the game? I don't think he's going to be a top guy. I don't think he will be. I think he'll be like that tier 2 kind of guy, in my opinion, because again, to me, you need to have these unique X factors and abilities, in my opinion, to really you know, be great at the running back position right now this year. So LT only getting Energizer for his special ability slot, it's interesting. But you know, 94 break tackle, 96 COD, 95 speed, 96 catching. He should have good hands and also probably pretty decent stiff arm if I had to imagine. But 5'10", 215. The card should play well, but again, he'll be like in that Saquon CMC range more than he's in the Peyton Hillis, Derrick Henry, and Barry Sanders range, in my opinion. So yeah, that's my thoughts on LT. I'm gonna give him an A-. I'll give him an A. I'll give him an A. Potentially an A-, potentially. If he does get like 0 AP jukebox though, that could be really good. I'll say that right now. If he does find a way to get, if he gives him a 0 AP jukebox, just know he's probably A+, because that will be super glitchy for offenses. Next up, we got and finally we have the LTD Calvin Johnson. So I saw a couple comments, people were saying like, oh, they're so lazy, they use the same card art. But what they're actually doing is, for the LTDs, they're going to be called Vault Breakers, which means they're going to go back in time to last year's AKA promo, which means it puts guys like Quadfather, Gus the Buzz, you know, the Tom Brady card, JJ Watt, it puts, or even the Darrell Revis, it puts all these guys' hats back in the, it puts all these guys' names back in the hat for the drawing, I guess is what I was trying to say, but it didn't really come out that way. But yeah, we're probably gonna get a lot of those cards that we loved last year again in the game this year as LTDs. And another cool thing about these cards is that they actually do get every single chemistry. So 3x Most Feared, 3x Zero Chill, 3x Ghost of Mud Pass, 3x pretty much every single promo theme team that has come out. So, and also, by the way, there is an AKA team promo, by the way. So you can get all the cards today, put them on a theme team, and then as the promo goes on, you're able to kind of build it, which is pretty cool. So this card obviously 6'5", 236. This is the new best wide receiver in the game right now. 96 speed, and on a Ghost of Mud Pass team or future team, he can get 99 speed if you have one of those. That's the big W. So this is the best wide receiver in the game right now. Also does get double me, which is, it's a wide receiver X factor, so it's pretty hit or miss. But it's gonna be nice on a 6'5" card who can go up there and get it, unlike an Odell Beckham Jr. who's only 5'11". So Calvin Johnson gonna be a stud. Best card in the game in my opinion right now is probably this Calvin Johnson card. So easy A+. Crazy route running stats. Gonna be a monster after the catch. This card's gonna be a problem, and probably will cost about $2.5 million, maybe $3 million, because he does fit on every single theme team that people have. So he's gonna be a very, very sought after card. It's not just the Lions chems like we're used to seeing on Calvin. He gets all the glitchy team chems, including like playoffs, for example. Playoffs is gonna be crazy. I think he gets playoffs, right? Does he not get playoffs? Yeah, no, he does right here. Yeah, he does get playoffs. So it's gonna be pretty glitchy, man. That's all I'm gonna say about it. So Calvin Johnson, A+. And as far as this drop goes, the names to me a little bit underwhelming, in my opinion. I don't know. I wish we could have got some cooler names. But the cards are actually pretty good. Like you saw, all of them are pretty much A-, A+ guys. So they did a pretty good job. I think the one big miss was just giving LT Energizer as his AKA ability. It really just makes no sense to me. But it is what it is. It is a good ability, but it's not as an X factor. Like I'll spend the 1 AP if I want it. You know what I'm trying to say? It just doesn't make any sense. So yeah, if you guys did enjoy today's video, hit that like button. If you are new here, the subscribe button, turn those notifications. And of course, as always, I will see you boys in the next one.